Through the looking glass to the other side of the mirror, anything of Alice in Stevie Nicks?
Much of Alice in Stevie Nicks. Alice is Stevie writing about Alice in parallel back to Stevie. So I'm really writing about Alice's adventures as in comparison to my adventures. And for Alice to run back and forth between the looking glass is what I kind of perceive my whole life to be, is running back and forth between two places, which is obviously my career with Fleetwood Mac and obviously my career by myself. And then, of course, there's the other part of my life, which is my own life, which there isn't very much of, but I always seem to be running to one place or the other. Alice is my favorite.
What makes this album more special than the other ones, the other solo albums you've done?
Probably the thing that makes it more special is that when I actually hired my producer to do this record, the thing that I told him that was most important to me was that my songs came through. I have archives of demos. And I have many, many friends who prefer the demos and who all have them and who listen to them. And that's kind of really hard to take when it costs you nothing to do a demo and it costs you, $500,000 or $1 million to do a record, and people come to you and say, can I have a cassette of the song when it was just a demo? And it's kind of like you want to turn around and bang your head against the wall because you can't believe that what you have done, what you have recorded in this big studio with all these fabulous players and all these incredibly brilliant people, that your real friends, which are not different than the real people out there that are buying your records, are saying, could I have a tape of Gypsy before it was put on record? It's very important to me that what I'm saying comes through, because more than musical, I'm not a musician. More than musically, it's very important that what I have to say comes through. And so in this record, he did what I asked. He let me put my demo feeling through. In other words, if I were to sit down and play the piano not very well and sing you one of my songs not that well, but you might start to cry. It might make you, it might really hit you because you would really understand what I was trying to say. As soon as they put harps and violins and incredible guitar and everything else on it, you lose that.
So for demo, read emotion.
Right, exactly. When I started this album, I said I want to be able to do these songs and reproduce them on stage. And I want people to go home not wishing that they could have heard them at the first writing, or at the first time that the idea came through me, and really understand what I was trying to say to them at a certain moment in time.
So are you saying that if you could go back now, you would change Rhiannon, or you would change Dreams, or any of those other songs that you've had on Fleetwood Mac albums?
Some, not Dreams. Dreams was like a reference vocal and just a very simple Fender Rhodes piano from Christine. So that was an accidental, very real song. Gypsy was very real. There are a few songs on the Fleetwood Mac records that actually did accidentally come out very real. If I were to go away and Lindsay got a hold of my songs, then he would add so much to them that by the time I got back, it was hardly recognizable to me, and I would be very upset, and he would say, well, that's really too bad. You were gone, you forfeit. I don't think if you lead a very normal life, a very suburbanite life, that you could write songs. Because what would you write about? Tragedy, unfortunately, for all people in rock and roll. brings you probably up to your highest level of creativity.
Ordinary people get upset as well.
Yes, and I'm sure that they probably scribble on pads.
And you scribble in books. You've filled books with your life, haven't you?
Books. Probably about 25,000 typewritten pages.
Every detail of your life.
Yes, I decided a long time ago that when the long nets of white clouded my brain, I would want to be able to go back and reread my life. And I didn't really start it for anyone else. I started it for myself. And then my songs come directly out of that prose writing, out of that journalistic writing. That's why none of my songs are made up. Because I never felt that it was fair to make up a song. I wouldn't be a good fiction writer. None of my songs are fiction, even though, of course, I add and subtract little things, but none of my songs start out in a fictitious way. They're all based on something that really happened to me or to somebody very close to me. They're never just, I never just go to the piano and make up a song. I never just go to the typewriter and make up a poem. I mean, I only go to the typewriter when I'm really either upset or very reflective or in that sort of a mood where I really want to tell the truth what's happening in my life. And then I write it down, and then I go back to it later, and I put it in rhyme, and then I go to the piano with it. Somewhere out in the back of your mind. To really tell my story would be indeed difficult because of all the different people involved. Not that there is anything bad written. It's just all terribly personal. Or maybe I'm just terribly possessive. My life has been, if I go not a day longer, quite extraordinary. The happy things have been written with great joy. The tragic things with great care. And the secrets have not been written at all, so that no one would ever be hurt by anything I would ever say. That is not the purpose of my writing. My purpose is to document this incredible adventure before the years have become too clouded to really remember what a truly incredible experience my life has been. Right now I live at the top of Old Queens Road in Franklin. And yes, I do have a movie star view. Some say I have everything. I wonder sometimes if anyone ever really knows what everything is. Have you got any heart at all? Yes, and it's going to stay right where it is. A musical western, and we all play the parts. But when the play is over, what do? Become overnight casual friends? You can lose your dreams or keep them. And the unridden horses ride away, and the sons of the prophets are deeply, deeply hurt. And your chances of returning to your past are gone. Your heroes are dying, the old ones, the great ones. The ones that you looked up to aren't looking so good anymore. And the ones that are growing up are crazier than we were. But a war can always be won. Well, if there is the sense in trying. Not much is really a secret anymore. We all grow up and the veils come down. But the children go on.
How do you write your best songs? When you're happy or sad?
When I'm miserable.
That's what everyone says.
In fact, I don't really ever write a happy song.